All right, good day, everyone, and welcome to UWI-ROYTEC's Career Conversations. This is the third in our series of conversations that we're having with our alumni, and it is for the purpose of sharing information about their journey that they would have encountered at UWI-ROYTEC and the careers that it has led them to envision for themselves. And so we're here to share. We do have our moderator who is having some technical difficulties. So what I'll do is do the introductions for the various panelists in the meantime. And when she joins us, I will hand over to her and introduce her at that time. So I'll first begin with Mr. Charles Cavallo Jr. He is dedicated to continuous learning and growth. He attended Fatima College and pursued further studies at UWI-ROYTEC, where he completed both the associate degree and the bachelor's degree in management studies. Over the past 9 years, Charles has explored various business sectors, including tourism, event management, administrative services, and construction, gaining valuable experience along the way. His journey in the business world has provided him with a diverse skill set and deeper understanding of different industries. Charles remains committed to applying his knowledge and skills to new ventures, always aiming to learn and contribute positively to the business community. So welcome, Charles.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for that
Good
introduction.
afternoon. And second, we'll have Ms. Kyra Arthur, who is a dynamic individual with a passion for education and sports. Originally from Trinidad and Tobago, now turned Canadian, Kyra has been making waves in the field of business management and is set to embark on a master's program in business analytics in September. An avid sportswoman, Kyra enjoys playing various sports and values quality time with friends and family. She has featured in a Newsday article for her outstanding leadership abilities while working in the University of New Brunswick in Canada. Kyra has gained recognition for achievements and expertise throughout the years. With a strong background in project management, customer service, and leadership, Kyra is known for exceeding expectations and delivering results with efficiency. She is committed to providing excellence anywhere she goes and always creating a space for everyone to be heard. Kyra is currently a strategist for a software company and is continuing to contribute to her community in every way possible. She is dedicated to continuous learning and growth, embodying a spirit of innovation and excellence in all her endeavors. Welcome, Kyra.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here.
Nice to have you here. And finally, our panelist, Prashant Duku. Prashant is a financial controller for Digicel St. Lucia. He's a young gentleman from Trinidad and Tobago. Prashant brings a wealth of expertise and a dynamic approach to his role. He holds a bachelor's degree in accounting and finance right here from UWI-ROYTEC, and he has been in the telecommunications industry for 5 years. Prashant joined Digicel just 7 months ago, but he quickly became an integral part of their team. Throughout his career, Prashant has held both commercial and finance roles, playing pivotal positions in driving synergies and optimizing performance. Known for his exceptional critical thinking skills and keen eye for detail, he ensures the accuracy and efficiency of financial operations. As a financial controller, Prashant focuses on transparency, efficiency, and strategic financial planning. His dedication to maintaining high standards of financial integrity and his proactive approach to problem solving make him a key asset to the Digicel St. Lucia team. So welcome, Prashant.
Thank you.
All right, I don't want to keep I'm not see. Oh, Geneva is here. Excellent. So I'll pass over to Geneva. She started her journey with UWI-ROYTEC back in 2017 with her associate degree with us. And, she has grown so lovely in so many fields. She has been in the financial sector for the past 17 years and has 12 years experience in debt collection. Geneva's journey, as I said, with UWI-ROYTEC started in 2017, and then she completed her bachelor's in business and management with us in 2023. She is currently pursuing a chartered banker MBA with another university where she serves as a student representative. So Geneva is also actively involved in her community, coordinating the altar servers of the Minor Basilica of the Immaculate Conception and the Church of the Sacred Heart in Port-of-Spain. So I welcome our moderator. I know I probably did a little bit more than what she hoped to do, but nevertheless, she's here and we can definitely get these conversations rolling so that, our audience can, benefit from your experience here at UWI-ROYTEC. All of you are alumni of UWI-ROYTEC, and we are so, so happy to have all of you join us here this morning in this business management panel. So I hand over to you good folks.
Thank you very much, Sarika. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, sorry. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Sarika, for the assistance. I do apologize. And welcome to the alumni. Welcome to students, present students, past students, and those who are listening virtually. So let's dive straight into our career conversations. As you know, we have 30 minutes thereabouts to complete this session, right? So let's share some insights on the management topic. So we first start off with Kyra. Kyra, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm doing good today. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for being part of the career conversations with us. So let's start off with you. What inspired you to pursue a career in management?
Yeah, so I think for me, I've always liked business, and I moved to Canada. So when you move to Canada from Trinidad, you have to start all over from scratch. So I started working like in a gym, but then I started to apply for positions that more aligned with what my degree allowed me to learn. And because I think with business management, we do so many things and we have so many options, it was very easy for me to pick between what I wanted to do versus what I didn't. I think it makes the pool wider for the possibilities because we do marketing, we do we have some IT courses in there, we do business, we do law, we do so many different things within the business management courses that it allows for any position really possible within that title or within that realm. So I decided to go for software industry. I first started with career. So I was like a recruiter, working with the university, and then continued my journey to do business management or where I can be allowed to lead in that aspect.
Okay, lovely. Thanks for sharing. Prashant, what would have led you to pursue a career in management?
Hey, afternoon, everyone.
Good
Well,
afternoon.
so to me, management is such a broad field that it gives you the avenue to do an array of different things. So, to piggyback off what Kyra said, it's we live in a world now where the future is AI driven and you need less human resources. And that means that the human resources that you do keep in an organization need to be so agile that they can function in different capacities and different avenues. You don't have that high degree of specialization required anymore for specialists in certain fields. I think with management, it allows you to dabble in so many different fields. You're able to kind of be that agile type of individual to really adapt to the growing change in the dynamics of the corporate world, for example. And even it allows you to be an entrepreneur long term if you don't want to adapt to how the corporate environments are. So to sum it up, I'll just put it like that.
Okay, thank you so much for your contribution. Charles, tell me, what inspired you to pursue a career in management?
Hi, afternoon, everybody again. Well, my answer was very similar to Kyra and Prashant's answer. On the fact that management gives you a wide berth. It teaches you about different aspects of business and not just prepares you to be an entrepreneur if that's the route you decide to go, what prepares you to go into any level of the corporate world. I've seen that in my experience. I was inspired to get to start studying business management because I wasn't really too sure what I wanted to do in terms of a career. But I did know that I was good at business. I didn't know what type of business I wanted to do, what industry I wanted to be involved in. So management seemed well-rounded, and the courses offered, as Kyra mentioned, they were they were very overall, I should say, but basically you get courses in business law, accounting, finance, politics, marketing, everything all in one. And from there it helps you realize, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and sort of gives you some sort of direction as to what you really want to do afterwards. And that's what I got from it.
Thank you so much, Charles. And I can share also my insights on why did I also pursue the career management, because you can become anything that you want to be through management, right? You can manage your own business. You can become a human resource manager. You can become an accountant, because having a management degree, in my opinion, you can go anywhere. So you're not going to be streamlined to one specific field or specialize in one specific area. So I truly honestly believe that management can help someone, a management degree can help someone in any area, even in IT or business education. So, Prashant, tell us a day in your life. What can you share with the wider audience? How do you balance your work life and your job and your personal life?
Okay, so you kind of asked me two questions there, so I'll take the first part of
Okay,
it.
let me drop it down simpler for you. I'm so sorry. Explain to the wider audience, because you have, based on your introduction, right? You work in a very dynamic field in telecommunications, right? So explain to the wider audience, how do you manage your personal life and how do you manage being at work, your work life? How you balance the both?
So I'll be, I mean, this is correct conversation. So it's not a bed of roses, if we're being frank of everything. Some days you're obviously going to have long hours at the office, some days are going to be light. So how I usually balance is, as I have avenues to kind of disconnect. One thing is, well, obviously I'm at Digital St. Lucia, so I've actually migrated up to St. Lucia because I'm based at the office up here. So one of the things that I use to kind of take away from the office time would be probably a casual drive by the beach or somewhere calm and serene. And those kind of things to kind of relax your head a bit. Usually typical day for me, I probably start work at about 8:30 in the morning. I would probably take lunch around 1:30. Day comprises obviously of deadlines, reports, meetings, a lot of meetings. The corporate world is driven by meetings. That's what a lot of people like to incorporate into each other's day. It's something you have to deal with. You can't really curb it. Obviously, we know the saying, this meeting could have been an email, but really and truly, sometimes the emails are not clear. You need the meeting to actually get things across, and to get persons working. I have one direct report working with me. The modeling Digicel is a shared services, so I have about 10 to 15 dotted line reports of staff towards me. So obviously I have to check in with them daily in the morning, firstly, see what they're working on for the day, see how we're progressing with our deadlines. And then throughout the day, ensure that I prioritize what I can get done, what can't be done. What can't be done, communicate to those stakeholders that I need to get it done for, that, look, I have other stuff working on, you'll get this tomorrow, you won't get it today. Be upfront, transparent, those kind of things. I think that's important. Communication is key. I'm in telecommunications, and communication is sometimes not the greatest, imagine that. So I don't want to imagine for other industries as well, it's possible. Again, lunch, and in the afternoon usually is trying to wrap up things, usually wrap up work by 6 on an average. As I said, go to the beach, take a drive. I like to game, I'm a gamer, so I game on my free time in the evening just to kind of disconnect from work and the corporate environment. you know, talking to family or a friend or something. You can't talk to everyone all the time. Let's be real, it's a lot, obviously. So you prioritize again on your personal side. Just like how I work with priorities, I also prioritize on my personal life as well. I prioritize myself, I prioritize my family. My friends will come after, they respect and know that. And anything else like leisure and stuff. So obviously, you know, you might take a once a week trip to get something nice at a restaurant, at the bar, etc., those kind of things. So it's really about, I think, prioritization and understanding that not every day is going to be perfect. I said on average it's 6 o'clock I might leave. Some days I might leave 9. Some days I may leave at 5. But knowing that the days that are heavy, you balance it with the days that are not so heavy.
Thank you so much. And there's a reason why I asked that question. It's because, so those who are looking on, especially students who may be full-time, they may not have that idea of how the work life is going to be. So you sharing this now will shed some light to them to say, well, okay, I'm going to work 8 to 4. However, I'll be in traffic probably from 6 to 7 in order to get to weekend time. Then I'll be in traffic after 4 to reach home. And then, you know, you're going to be tired. So hence the reason I draw a reference to that question. So it sheds some light and it will prepare students to say, well, okay, I know what I have to do when I get into the world of work. All right. So moving on to Mr. Charles, I would like to find out, you know, I believe you're an entrepreneur. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. So describe, because Prashant is in the corporate world and you are on the other aspect, which is the other spectrum, which is entrepreneurship, right? So you run your own business, you've been part of various businesses and such. So tell us, describe a typical day at work for you.
Well, the short answer is there's no typical day. No two days are the same. Sometimes I'll wake up at 5, sometimes I wake up at 9, depending on what I have to do for the day. Some days I wake up, most days I wake up, check emails, WhatsApp, that kind of thing, and I'm running errands or on a job site or meeting clients all day. Some days I'm at home for the entire day, sitting behind my computer from 7 in the morning to 8 at night. So that being said, it kind of goes into the other question of balancing that work and personal life. I think most people, especially in today's world, in our generation, of course, it's very difficult to achieve that balance. I think a lot of us are still trying to achieve that balance if we're being realistic. And it's a lot easier said than done, especially when you're in business. I know a lot of people in the corporate world, even though you have fixed hours, you're still working outside of those hours. You may still be working out, longer hours, sometimes weekends, depending on what it involves. So it's not just being an entrepreneur that you encounter those things. Also in the corporate world, you may have to work outside of your regular hours. And even though you're not necessarily on the clock, you may be thinking about work unintentionally or unconsciously. So that's also a part of it, the mind games that I guess it would play on you, or the effect it would have on your mental. But my way of trying to balance it, I would say, is similar to what Prashant said, is prioritizing your personal life. In my work, I set reminders on calendar appointments for almost every single thing, or else I would forget it. And I do the same in my personal life. And a lot of my friends and people in my life would be like, "Why are you setting a calendar appointment for when we have a Lime on Friday?" But to me, that's my way of prioritizing my personal life, because if I don't put it in my calendar, I'm not gonna be mentally prepared for it. I'm gonna finish my work and be like, I don't want to go out online anywhere. And I'm not gonna see my friends, I'm not gonna see my family. So prioritizing it to that level, the same way you do with your work, is definitely a way to achieve that balance or some semblance of it. And also set boundaries and stick to them. I would say that when you're overwhelmed with work and things are piling up, whether you're running businesses or you're in the corporate world, it is basically the same. You get overwhelmed, everybody gets overwhelmed. Some people are doing a job of 2 to 3 people, even though they have one position. You want to set those boundaries, even though you have a lot of work piling up and you feel like you have to work through the entire weekend to get through things. Sometimes taking even an hour to reset and do something you like, or going to sleep early and getting a good rest so that you could work for the entire day the next day, that it makes a huge difference. Or even just talking to a friend, going out for a few drinks, that reset sometimes gives you the boost you need to continue working and being productive. So those are my ways to balance, or try
Thank
to
you
at least.
so much for that, Charles. I really do appreciate that. So even though you're an entrepreneur, people may think that hey, you have free time, when truth and in fact you don't. You have actually more work to do than those who actually work in corporate. So Kyra, tell us. So right now you are in Canada, and this is because you would have done the BBA through UWI-ROYTEC, right? So tell us, how was that journey for you transitioning from Trinidad to Canada, utilizing the Bachelor's of University of New Brunswick? And how can persons, follow suit?
Well, I'd say that ROYTEC had a really good program when they did. So basically what the program was at that time was we were able to go to Canada for a semester. And because we were already doing the bachelor's program with UNB in Canada, it was just like you're just going to school, just not in Trinidad anymore, and for a while. And I said a bunch of alumni came down, and they were really like explaining it to us and telling us how it was. And it sounded very interesting to me. So I asked my parents if I can go, and they were like, all right, let's figure it out. And then I came. So I was supposed to go back home. And when COVID hit, I was supposed to go back home. But while I was in Canada, I was hustling, because when you leave your country and go to a new country, you have to figure everything out from scratch. Like I started driving at 17. I was, I think, 22 or 23 at the time, and I was in a driver's class lessons with a bunch of 17-year-olds relearning how to drive in Canada. So things like that, just starting from scratch, was big. And then doing a lot of adult things like going to interviews for rent, like for rental apartments, being interviewed to rent an apartment. I was like, what is this? So you really have to have a hustler's mindset when you move from Trinidad to a new country. Yes, the program that ROYTEC provided at that time was great because it allowed us to have that avenue to take that. Someone I would say now, I would say apply to a lot of schools, because schools in Canada always want people to, of course, attend the university. And then you do get full scholarship sometimes if you apply and they like bring you up. So I would say if someone is interested in doing that, apply to schools in Canada. Make sure that you have the funds though, because Canada ain't cheap. It's expensive. But I think for me, when I stayed in COVID, someone recommended me because I worked with them at UMB at a career fair, and they allowed me to be like a proctor of the dorm. So they paid for my rent. So I called my parents and I was like, I'm not coming back home. Sorry, guys. And they were like, okay, cool, sure, no problem. And I stayed and I just kept building, working. You have to be dedicated. You have to have a entrepreneur's mindset, even though like it's your business, like the way you live, how you want, where you want to work, how you handle yourself, how you take care of yourself. It is hard, but perseverance helps. And just asking a lot of questions and being comfortable with not knowing things and being comfortable with other people knowing way more than you is okay, because you get to learn from them and you get to take things and make it your own. So, and also prioritizing, like what Charles said, I am also a person that if we lineman on Friday, it will be in my calendar. So that is also very important because you have to prioritize everything all of the time and make sure that you know what you're doing, whether it's like moving to a new country or taking on a new challenge. That's very important.
Thank you so much. So you had a life journey experience, and I'm sure that you enjoyed it. the ups, the downs, and like a true trooper, you rally through. So this shows the resilience that you have, and you share this with these students who are looking on. So I really hope that they take their notes in terms of what they have to do. So there are opportunities once you take a UWI-ROYTEC degree program. And last but not least, as we have 4 minutes, so 1 minute per person, thereabouts. I would like to ask you all, how valuable was attending UWI-ROYTEC, and by extension, what advice would you give our students looking on at the moment and the wider audience? Starting with Kyra.
I think going to ROYTEC was amazing. The students were really encouraging. The teachers, the lecturers are very helpful. I remember being in school and my teachers telling me, oh, your teachers are not going to like talk to you and stuff. They're just gonna teach and then dip. But the teachers, the lecturers at UWI-ROYTEC, they are really good. Well, for me, they were really good at like explaining things, making sure I understood, that sort of thing. What I would say is that you just need to know that, yes, this is just a paper, this is just a degree, but in the eyes of the working world, it means so much. So it's going to be hard, like crazy hard, but try every day to do better. Try every day to just deal with it a little bit, and you'll get through it, you'll graduate, and you'll be so happy that you have that piece of paper when you're doing interviews at companies. If
Thank
that's
you so much. I second that. Charles, how valuable was attending UWI-ROYTEC, and what advice would you give to the wider audience?
Oh, it was very valuable for me. I did my EDM and BDM program about maybe 5 years apart, so it was a complete difference in time as well as how the courses were given. The second time was during COVID and it was completely remote. So I got a really good mix of experiences and a good mix of lecturers. Of course, the lecturers I found made the course everything that it is. Even though the course content itself is really well done, I think the lecturers also a lot of them also being either actively or involved in or have a past in the business world itself, real business world. They give you some anecdotes that are valuable and they teach you real lessons. It's not just people say, people say you don't learn this in university or in college or these things. There's a lot you can learn from lecturers that give you that real life experience and connect the course teachings to real life things in any business world, especially. And it really just gives you different perspectives on the corporate world in general, I would say. My advice is don't be afraid to try anything new. If by going through this course, you decide you want to get into business, give it a try and don't make too many excuses, just start. Because I personally made a lot of excuses in terms of starting my own businesses, and it led to me missing out on a few opportunities had I started earlier. And it's okay to try and fail in any endeavor, whether you try at a job and it's not the correct job for you, or you start a business and it fails the next week, it's fine. I've had many failures in business, and I think you wouldn't know where you're supposed to be until you try the things that you're interested in.
Thank you so much. And if I have opportunities in my path, I will definitely not be afraid to try. So, Prashant, last but not least, how valuable was attending UWI-ROYTEC, and what advice do you have to the wider audience?
So for me, I'll echo the same sentiments. I'll try to be a bit more less descriptive, because I guess probably along the same lines as Kyra and Charles. What I feel like UWI-ROYTEC gave me that I don't think I would have gotten in a lot of universities was the togetherness, like a kind of close-knit family setting. Because a lot of universities, it's just like, it's almost like a certain type of workplace. You go in, you consume a bunch of knowledge, you go home, you write an exam, you do an assignment, you get marked on it, you walk out with a degree in a couple of years' time. That's it, bye. What I liked is the holistic approach. I mean, I was heavily involved with student council, so obviously, Sarika, Vijaya, and Kobina, I know very well. Kyra Kyra and I actually attended, I think, ADM at the same time. So we were in a couple classes in the beginning. She was very upfront and being friendly. She was actually the first person to come and ask me my name outside of class. So, you know, it was nice to kind of have that togetherness. I don't think you get that in a lot of universities nowadays. It translated to me in the workplace now, where I'm open to communication, open to collaboration, where a lot of persons tell me that they were accustomed in the past with working with other persons who prefer to work in silos. And I think working in silos, which means working separately and not collaborating with one another, it's kind of driven from how the typical mindset was before versus how the mindset should be now, where we work together towards a goal versus we work separately and compete against one another. And to end, because we're a minute over, one piece of advice I give to all the students out there is two things. One, be patient for success, but also don't be complacent. If you see an opportunity and you have the slightest bit of thinking in your mind that you can achieve it, take it, because it will never come back again. And don't let anybody fool you and think the opportunity will come back again. Just take it and don't question it, just run with it. You hear Kyra's story about running to Canada. You hear Charles becoming an entrepreneur. You hear me up in St. Lucia, of all places as well, too, out of Trinidad. And you have so many different stories from other students as well, too, I'm sure. So take that opportunity, don't question it, and just accept it. And what is for you will be for you.
Thank you so much. I share your sentiments exactly. I share all of your sentiments. And so thank you for staying with us, everyone. It was an enjoyable experience. Thank you for coming on to the alumni. Thank you for students for joining us and listening. Thank you to the wider audience as well. As you know, this will be shared by the YouTube channel. And tell others about taking that opportunity to come and be part of UWI-ROYTEC. Registration is going to be open soon. So what should I say? Thank you to Sarika and team. Yes, UWI-ROYTEC did provide a wonderful experience for all of us who have attended and who are attending now and who will be attending. So have a good afternoon. I put you back over to Sarika.
Thank you very much, Geneva. And on behalf of the management team here at UWI-ROYTEC and Student Services, we'd like to extend a heartfelt thank you to the four of you, Charles, Kyra, Prashant, and Geneva, for taking time off your very hectic schedules and sharing your experiences with us and also with our student body, so that they too can navigate this world of work and understanding their career direction that they'd like to take, and knowing that the business management field is one that gives them the ground to pivot to where their passion will now, form their career path. So that's it for us. So thank you everyone for joining us, and have a great weekend ahead. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Take care.